get by with help from my friends. I gotta try with help from my friends. What do I do when my love goes away? Does it worry you to be alone? And how do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad? 'Cause you're on your own. And I get by with help from my friends. I'm gonna try with help from my friends. I get by with help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I want someone to love. Could it be anybody? Want someone to love.
Came here 16 years ago, and it's one of my favorite holiday traditions. I always said, when does it happen? How are we going to get there? A couple of years we had problems about raising money. We were able to do it. This is where we find the real, true spirit of the holiday season. The spirit of sharing, companionship, and giving thanks. We give thanks for the opportunity to have Thanksgiving dinner together as a community. We give thanks for the Boston Living Center, an organization that makes a real difference in our city. It's a place where people living with HIV and AIDS can always find a good meal, a helping hand, and the dignity, compassion, and respect that they deserve.
It's a great night. It's so wonderful to be here, and you know, this is a tradition that goes way back. 20 years ago, a small group came together at the home of Kevin George, and they were there to, you know, as we all do, celebrate the spirit of the holiday season. This gathering inspired Peter Daniel Clark's vision for a celebration of life, as this is. A community dinner for people living with HIV/AIDS and their friends and families. Peter is not with us. Peter passed away in 1992, but his legacy lives in the hearts of many, including his sister, Debbie Fellman, who is here to present the award in her brother's name.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is such an unbelievable honor, and I know that Peter is looking down on us all with the biggest smile and wishing you all well and a happy Thanksgiving. I want to talk about Dan Curley. Dan Curley has been a key figure in the Celebration of Life dinners for the past 19 years. When my brother Peter Daniel Clark started these dinners, Dan was right by his side, helping in any way that he could. Over the years, the dinner has evolved into a larger event to honor and celebrate everyone involved in the HIV/AIDS community. And every year, Dan has been a participant of the committee that does the work of producing this incredible event. Tonight, we honor and thank Dan Curley for his many years of dedication to the Celebration of Life dinner and for his years of service to the HIV/AIDS community. Thank you, Dan. Let me tell you a little bit more about him. Dan Curley has been a pioneer in the HIV/AIDS services since the beginning. With a professional background of serving people with disabilities, Dan's transition into the HIV/AIDS became his passion. Over the years, Dan's involvement in this cause helped to develop some of the crucial services needed for his friends and others living with HIV. Dan was an original member of the board of directors of the Boston Living Center. Dan also served as the director of HIV services and then the director of training and development at VinFen, where he collaborated with AIDS Action Committee to develop the Armory Street Project, which provided needed housing services for people living with HIV/AIDS. He also participated in the development of the Adult Day Health Center, the second of its kind in the country for people living with HIV and other disabilities at Shattuck Hospital. He worked at the Dimmick Community Health Center as the Director of Operations and Behavioral Health, supporting multicultural service development within the Black and Hispanic communities. Dan was involved in the development of community servings, which provides delivery of food to those with HIV who are homebound. Dan also served as the executive director of Cambridge Cares About AIDS, where he advocated for those living with HIV and addiction issues. During his tenure at CCAA, Dan also developed Housing Works, a natural database of affordable housing. He then started DJC Consulting, where he worked within the HIV/AIDS community to build bridges between service agencies. Wow, Dan, we're going to go on and on. You're amazing. Today, as the AIDS epidemic has become an international issue, Dan continues to be a leader as the president of the USA Board of Directors with the Namugongo Fund for Special Children, raising funds so that children in Africa infected with or affected by HIV/AIDS do not go hungry. After all these years, this man, Dan Curley, is still making sure that people get fed. On behalf of the entire membership of the Boston Living Center, the local and international AIDS communities, and especially my family, it is with heartfelt thanks, it is a complete privilege that I present the Peter Daniel Clark Award to his and our good friend, Dan Curley.
See, this is what happens when you get old. There's a lot of history to talk about. I'm very honored to be given an award in the name of Peter Clark. I met Peter as the Boston Living Center was being created. He always had this bright smile. We were talking about it where you saw him in a room and you were just drawn to his face. He came to a Thanksgiving dinner that was part of the Monday night dinner program that was run by the People with AIDS Coalition at the time at AIDS Action Committee, and decided that the people with HIV and AIDS in Boston and then in New England really needed a fabulous dinner. So he decided that we should be in a nightclub, and the first dinner that Peter organized was in the Roxy nightclub downtown in the theater district. I can't tell you how many years of pleasure the dinner has given to me, working with a group of 14 volunteers that spend most of their year putting together this dinner. People that have been donating food for the dinner for all of these years. And just the incredible gift of working within the community of people living and working within HIV. I've always wondered about where the tenacity comes from, but I have to tell you that after all of these years, the community of people with HIV have changed the way that we think about healthcare. They've changed the way that we think about disability. They've changed the way about how we do public policy and funding. And I've been incredibly gifted by being allowed to work within the community. So for Peter's family, for my family, and all of the people that I've gotten the opportunity to work with, I thank you very much for this award.
'Cause I get by with help from my friends. I gotta try with help from my friends. What do I do when my love goes away? Does it work?